As you're living in Albania and you start interacting with Albanians, one of the very common things that you'll hear them say to you is, "Oh my God, you've learned Albanian? The grammar is so difficult." And for me, I think that one of the ways that the difficulty of Albanian grammar manifests itself is in the noun case endings. This is something that in a lot of ways is very different from the way that we understand the way that nouns function in a sentence in English, but in some ways there's a lot of similarities. One of the ways that nouns function in this sentence in Albanian that is the same as it is in English is that we can more or less say that the subject, the object, and the indirect object function in the same way in a sentence as it does in English and Albanian together. Now, we made a fun little analogy to help you kind of see the way a subject, an object, and an indirect object develops in a sentence. As we remember from maybe our 5th grade grammar classes, the subject is the doer of the action. So we have our subject of the sentence is the midfielder from the team FC Barcelona. As we know in soccer, a midfielder is the one who kicks the ball to begin the game. They are, as we can say very basically, the doer of an action. We then move to the object, which is, in this case, the soccer ball. We can know that the object is the soccer ball because they are receiving the very direct action of the midfielder's foot kicking the ball. And then we move to the indirect object. And we know that in this case, our indirect object is Lionel Messi. He is the indirect object because he is indirectly receiving the action of the kick or the pass that was acted upon the ball when he receives the ball. As you may or may not be able to infer, we have taken this idea and constructed an Albanian sentence out of it. So you can see here, mes fushori means midfielder, our subject. The mes fushori is doing the action of passing, pason, the ball, topin. So we have mes fushori here, our subject with the I ending, subject definite, our verb, 3rd person singular, simple present, and our object with the I-N ending mean that they are receiving the action of the kick, the pass. Now, we are going to take it one step further. We still have our mes fushori as our subject with our I ending. We bring in accusative, which is a later video. We have our verb still, the same form. Our topin, I-N ending, direct object. And now, we get Lionel Messi with the I-T ending, receiving, answering the question to or for whom is our indirect object. So we have T, N, and I. Now again, in these early days, your initial gut reaction is going to want to be to relate Albanian to English. That's totally valid. But there's 2 Albanian case endings that although they have similar concepts in English, they function in a slightly different way in the Albanian context. So we have our genitive case and our ablative case. The way we can rationalize the genitive case using English is that it answers a possessive sort of role. It will be written in English as of something with an apostrophe S showing possessive, or it can even be represented as an adjective in English. So we see here our genitive comes in with the article I and Barcelona with the ES ending. So we still have subject mes fushori with I, E Barcelonas, ES, article plus ES, again arclitic, our verb, still toping. This is now, we can call it our accusative case with IN and Messi, our indirect object. This is acting as our our. Finally, the last piece of our Albanian case ending puzzle is the ablative case. This, the best way to say it in English, is our indirect object with preposition or even a preposition clause. So still, subject, mes fushori, I Barcelonas, genitive, I pason, clitic plus verb, toping, direct object, or the accusative case. 2, mesi, mesit, our indirect object dative case. And then per mes, this is our preposition, which then acts upon fushis, the field, with the es ending is representing the ablative. So now we can see that we have every piece of the puzzle together in this sentence. Mes fushori, the midfielder, our subject, our nominative in Albanian. I Barcelonas, of Barcelona, our possessive, or our genitive, passes, our verb, the ball, toping, our direct object, our accusative. 2, mesi, mesit, indirect object, or our dative in Albanian, and across the field, per mes fushis, indirect object with preposition, or in Albanian, our ablative. To reiterate what I said at the beginning of this video, Albanian grammar is intensely difficult and intensely specific. But I want you to know that you should not worry about this, and these are all things that will come with listening, with practice, with being out in your communities and being involved. I wish you the best in your Albanian studies and a great service with Peace Corps.